All right. Hello, everyone. Welcome back to another episode Friday Night Fight Talk. How's everyone doing today? Hope everyone's doing well. I'm gonna act like I can hear your answer, and I hope everything's going good. I pray at least. So this week we got what's it called? Sorry, I'm blanking on it. Is my mic volume okay? I gotta hope my mic volume's okay. Sorry if you just went deaf because I screamed there. But yeah, we got Ian Farry versus Color Protest in UFC Kansas City. All around, I think a pretty good fight night card. We haven't had one like this with already 4 fights with ranked opponents in it. I think that's fucking crazy. And technically, if you want to count the first fight of the night, there's 5. But I don't know who cares about that one. Yeah. All right. So let's just get into it. Sorry, I just woke. Sorry. I just woke up, cracking a monster as we speak. I was at Metallica last night in Toronto. They had Pantera there. Suicidal Tendencies. It was fucking sick, and I decided that I was gonna go in the mosh pit, and that was fucking fun. Only thing, don't. Or sorry, I gotta tell myself I gotta be fucking careful when I'm going in the Limp Bizkit mosh pit on Saturday. Cause yeah, they're kind of fucking wild. Those Limp Bizkit guys. And then Metallica again on Saturday. Seen them twice. Anyways, let's get into the picks here. So, starting off, we got Chelsea Chandler versus Jocelyn Edwards. I swear Jocelyn Edwards. I thought this girl was already ranked. I don't even need to say anything. Chelsea Chandler's kind of a fucking can. I'm going to go Jocelyn Edwards. She's going to win a decision. She's the best fighter in the UFC right now with the last name Edwards, and that's not a joke. What? I didn't say anything. All right. Next up, we got Timmy Kawamba versus Roberto Romero. This fight, pretty close in the odds. Wow. Okay, don't look at don't look at Roberto Romero's last name. Or sorry, not his last name. His fucking fight nickname. Oh my god. Anyways, I'm sure it's not actually meant to be racist. Roberto Romero, he came in on short notice his last fight against David Onama, UFC 309. I think I actually remember him putting up a decent fight. I could be wrong. And Timmy Kawamba coming off a loss to, is it Thomas Almeida, I think? Lucas Almeida? One of them. Yeah, Lucas Almeida. But anyways, what am I going to pick here? I'm going to pick Timmy Kawamba to win by decision. Don't get me wrong, pretty close in the odds, but I haven't seen much of the Romero, and granted, not much Kawamba either, but definitely haven't seen shit out of Romero. Alright, next up, a women's fight that I'll have to watch kind of closely. We got Jacqueline Amorim versus Polyana Viana, the baddie! Sorry. Polyana Viana is coming off a loss to a Canadian. So, obviously, that's not a bad loss. It's not a bad loss at all. Over a year ago, at UFC 297, I won't lie, like, she's kind of a can, but she's got a fat ass, so I might actually just have to pick her. She's up against Jacqueline Amorim, who, oh, fuck. Why did they put her up against her? Who's 9-1? Okay. Do I go for... you know what? She doesn't have a bad face. Maybe. We'll see. Oh, fuck. But what? Okay, if the betting odds were telling me to predict this fight, I'm going with the Morim by, like, complete blowout. By, like, submission, in round 1. But it's Polyana Viana, and she's got a fat ass. Fuck. Okay. I'm gonna go Polyana Viana to submit her in the first round. Boom, I just said it. Alright? I can't believe those words just came out of my fucking mouth. Polyana Viana is gonna submit Jacqueline Amorim in the first round. We gotta remember she's gotten 100% finish rate with all her wins. Yeah. And 12 of them coming from the first round. So, sorry, excuse me, I'm gonna blow my nose real quick. Y'all are about to hear this fucking monstrosity. Ugh. Yeah, I feel bad for you guys. You guys have to listen to the stupid shit I do all the time. Yeah, Polyana Viana, she'll like sit on her face or something, I don't know, and then get the submission, choke her out, blah blah blah. Yeah, Polyana Viana by brutality. All right, next up we got Malcolm Wellmaker versus Cameron Simon. Simon? I don't fucking know. South Africa, Dreykus Duplessis teammate. Still can't say his name. Malcolm Wellmaker. Pretty hot cost. What the fuck? Did I just say prospect? Coming off the Contender Series. And Cameron Simon, right now, I believe running a 2-fight skid, if I'm not wrong. To Christian Rodriguez and Peyton Talbot. Don't get me wrong, he's really good before that, but he's on a bit of a skid. And fucking Wellmaker looked insane on the Contender Series. I'm gonna pick. I don't know if I can pick him by KO. Fuck it. I'm a big Malcolm Wellmaker by round 2 KO. I don't know why I'm mixing up my words. Yeah, it's pretty simple. I think he's gonna KO him quite early on. Okay. Moving on. We got Damon Blackshear versus Alan Tagelli. I don't fucking know how to say his name. China man. Damon Blackshear, I think pretty underrated in bantamweight. I won't lie. His record might not show it, but he's got some decent skill. Just because he got knocked out in 15 seconds by Montel Jack, probably less actually. Doesn't mean he's a complete bum. Yet. And Alan Tangeli, I don't fucking know how to say this guy's name. He's coming off a win. Over fucking what's his face. He had a loss to Chris Gutierrez as well. Clayton Rodriguez, that's it. I remember, I think he got cut or something. Oh no, I gotta say, I'm picking Damon Blackshear to submit him in the second. Yeah. I think Damon Blackshear, his jiu-jitsu, his wrestling, it's really good. His striking is kind of mid. So, yeah, I believe just take it to the ground. You should be fine. Antangali's kind of well-rounded, but he's not well-rounded in every area. Next up. So this fight, what card was this on? 313, I think, and it got delayed till tonight. We have Chris Gutierrez versus John Castaneda. My pick still stands. I'm picking Chris Gutierrez to win by decision. Yeah, I don't really think, I don't see many ways that he loses this. Former ranked bantamweight. Don't get me wrong, Castaneda lost to Daniel Marcos last, that's not a bad loss at all, because he's fighting to be in the rankings next. Sorry. But Chris Gutierrez, formerly ranked, and I believe he just got fizzled out. And yeah, he lost to Song Yudong in that main event. Lost to Pedro Munoz, but he's really good around that bottom of the ranking area, which currently he's unranked right now, so I gotta give it to him. Okay, next up, we got Evan Elder versus Gage Young. Wow, Both those guys sound like complete fucking rednecks. I won't lie. Tell me that like that doesn't sound like two fucking country singers. Oh, you guys listen to Evan Elder's new album yet? No. You see that Gage Young guy? I love that song, man. Talk about it, struck a lot. Drinks a lot of beer. Like, it just sounds like two country names to me. Anyways, Evan Elder. He's riding. Oh man, I'm tired. 2-fight win streak. And Gage Young over here, the young redneck contender coming off the Contender Series. Both have the same record. I am going to pick Evan Elder to win this one, and I'm actually going to say he wins this by decision. I think most people picking this fight are probably going to pick him to finish him. I don't think so. I'm going to pick him by decision. Gage Young, don't get me wrong, doesn't look awful, but it's bad to say I'm going off a hunch, but I'm going off a hunch. Okay. Headline in the prelims is the fight to see who keeps their contract. Not to mention, I swear to God, this guy retired. We have Matt Schnell versus Jimmy Flick. Now, if I'm not wrong, I swear to God, Matt Schnell retired in the Apex a few months ago. Like, am I not wrong? Anyways, Matt Schnell might have the pound for pound worst chin in the UFC, and that is... And I don't like throwing, like, the phrase pound for pound, best or worst around much. This is one that's clear as day to me. He's being flatline chinned by people in the lightest weight division. If it happens once, sure thing. Like, Kai Kara-France got slept by fucking Brandon Moreno. Okay? But, okay, happens once. Now Kai Kara-France is looking great. Steve Erceg got chinned by Kai Kara-France. Doesn't mean he has an awful chin. When you're getting chinned in fucking every fight, or chinned and then submitted, you know something's seriously fucking wrong. Okay. So, Matt Schnell. Really? Oh, man, I am so tired. Really shitty chin. And then we got Jimmy Flick over here, who is, like, only known for his grappling. This guy's stand-up is dog shit. He beat my boy Malcolm Gordon, bro. Like, I'm not gonna let that slide. I still gotta pick, fucking, what's his face? I still gotta pick Matt Schnell, and I'm gonna pick him by decision. I'm not gonna pick him by submission or anything, because... honestly, Matt Schnell shouldn't be playing too risky right now, considering that even Jimmy Flick could probably fucking chin this guy. So yeah, I'm going to pick Matt Schnell to win by decision. I am not going to pick him to win by submission. Okay, moving on to the main card. I swear this fight was supposed to happen months ago, and now it's finally here. Sorry, let me take a sip. We got Ikram Aliskerov versus Andre Muniz. Ikram Aliskerov coming off that KO loss to Robert Whittaker, one of Whittaker's like 2 fucking KOs in the past 6 years. And then Andre Muniz, formerly ranked middleweight, really good grappling coming off a win over Sungadibadibada Park. I don't remember his name. So, don't get me wrong, Andre Muniz is a good fighter. He has good grappling. He even has good stand-up. But I got to give it to the Dagestani plot armor here. I'm going with Ikram Aliskerov, and I will say he wins by yet another decision. I do not think he will finish Andre Muniz, even though he does have nearly an 100% finish rate. I think he has... oh, no, I'm thinking of something else. I mean, he has 11 finishes out of his 15 wins. But he does have good skills. He's got really good stand-up, and he has good grappling on top of it. So I do believe that Ikram Aliskerov, well, I will say he will outclass him, but I don't think he'll finish Andre Muniz. Okay, moving on. Quick turnaround for Randy Brown, now that I think about it. But we have Randy Brown versus Nicholas Dalby. Dalby hasn't fought since this fight against, I want to say, Renat on the Saudi Arabia card, I think. Now, for me, in my opinion, Dalby is one of the most underrated guys in the welterweight division. He's one of those guys near the top of the division, again, or near the top of the unranked. And it just shows how many killers there are at welterweight. Like Brian Battle, Randy Brown, Nicholas Dalby, all unranked. Carlos Leal, all unranked guys. And they're just at the top of that division already. Notice how I didn't mention Renat, because that last fight was fucking robbery. So Randy Brown coming off that loss to Brian Battle. It was a very close fight, kind of a boring fight, but I couldn't really care, to be honest. Good striker all around. I think he's very well rounded. And then Dalby over here with his unique breathing techniques. If you watched his past few fights, his face is fucking red by the first 30 seconds. And he's somehow not gassed by his unique breathing techniques of sorry you had to hear that. But that's what it sounds like and looks like. I'm sure you could already see through the screen what my fucking face looks like. So I am going to say I gotta give this to Dalby. I gotta say I'm gonna pick Dalby to win a decision. Don't get me wrong, Randy Brown is incredibly good, and I think either way, whoever wins this fight could be in store for a ranked opponent. I know they're both coming off losses, and I know that might be my fucking hot take of the century. Because obviously, like, we have people like Brian Battle. Like, Brian Battle deserves a fucking ranked opponent. But, oh yeah, that's another name I completely forgot to mention. Fucking Oben Elliott is at welterweight, too. Completely unranked. But, even though they're coming off one loss, they're both close fights. And yeah, I could see it, to be completely honest. But also probably another win or two is needed. But I'm going to go with Dalby to win by decision. I genuinely think that he can win this. Using his weird fucking cardio, decent wrestling, and he's got some fucking KO power in there as well. I know there's a height difference, big height difference. I think Randy Brown's like fucking 6'3" or something like that. It's not a problem. Okay. Next up, we got Michel Pereira versus Abus Magomedov. So already, we have 4 more fights to go, and they all have a ranked opponent in them for me, which is fucking crazy. So, this is the battle of the gas tanks. We are fighting here to see who has the shittiest fucking gas tank in the UFC, pound for pound. I'm kidding. Yeah, worst gas tank is probably like Derek Lewis or something. Or Zabit had a pretty bad gas tank. Or I know there's another name I'm probably forgetting. But anyways, Michel Pereira coming off, he had a huge win streak. And now he's coming off that loss to Anthony Hernandez, got completely dominated. If that went to a decision, that would have been one of the biggest decision, like, most dominant decision wins of all time. Think of it, like, I think the Max Holloway versus Calvin Kattar win was 50-42. And I think every fucking round was a 10-8 to Anthony Hernandez before it was stopped. Except for maybe the first, I think. I think most of the rounds were scored a 10. I'm gonna look up the scorecards. Anthony Hernandez versus Michel Pereira scorecard. I'm gonna take a look at this. Okay, moving. Okay, let's see. So So one judge had round 3 scored a 10-8. One judge had round 2 scored a 10-8. And then one judge, which is kind of what I thought happened, had Michel Pereira winning round 1 and then getting 10-8 every other round. So all in all, the scorecards by the time of the stoppage were 40-35 and 39-34, which is probably where I would have had it, to be completely honest. Oh, like 39-34. Imagine if that went to a decision. That would have been one of the biggest decision wins of all time. Anyways, I'm getting off track. Don't get me wrong, Michel Pereira is really good, but he didn't really do much to get ranked. Let's be honest. Anyways, now we have Abbas Magomedov, German Dagestani or something like that. I don't fucking know. Coming off a good win over Bruno Ferreira and Warley Alves, but he's only lost in the UFC to the top guys. He's only lost to Caio Baralho and Sean Strickland in the UFC. And the Sean Strickland one was early too, and he won the first round unanimously. He 100% won that first round. But he did get fucking outclassed by Caio Baralho. So this is a tough fight for me to predict, and this round 1 should be fucking crazy. God damn it. Why is it making me do this, man? I don't want to say Michel Pereira because Abbas Magomedov is probably going to win. But I don't want to say Abbas Magomedov so I don't look like an idiot. Fuck it. I'm going to go with Michel Pereira. I'm not going to say he wins a decision. I'm going to say he KOs him in round 2 because that's when both their gas tanks are going to be gone. So I will say Michel Pereira KOs Abbas Magomedov in round 2. Okay. Moving on. Featured bout. We got Giga Chikadze versus David Onama. So, a bit of a step down for Giga Chikadze, concerning his last fight was against Arnold Allen. Was a close-ish fight. I thought he won the first round and then got completely outclassed the last 2. Also looking like a fucking alien in his new picture. What the fuck? Anyways. Yeah, his last win was over Alex Caceres, who I don't even know where the fuck that guy went. He just hasn't fought in forever. David Onama had that win over Roberto Romero. And yeah, I believe now is, if I'm not wrong, was this guy not a lightweight? But anyways, I'm getting off track. Maybe he just moved up to lightweight for that one fight. I think I forget. Yeah. Anyways, I see a lot of people picking David Onama here, and I get that Giga Chikadze isn't that fucking good. He's not that good. Don't get me wrong. But my gut feeling says that David Onama has a way to win this, but all in all, I actually have to say Giga Chikadze is going to win this by decision. I'm not going to lie. Now, granted, if Onama fucking, I don't think he'll wrestle, but if he does, could be an issue. But Giga Chikadze, very good striker, and I believe on the feet he will beat David Onama. Don't get me wrong, I'm still calling on this being a close fight. I think this will be close. Okay, co-main event. This is a fucking tough one for me to predict. I won't lie. Sounds bad. Okay, we got Anthony Smith versus Zhang Mingyang. Don't get me wrong. This is a closer fight than the betting odds say. Anthony Smith is a plus 390 underdog, and Zhang Mingyang has been looking like a killer and is a minus 520 favorite. So Zhang Mingyang has been fucking KOing everyone. I believe he KO'd Brenton Ribeiro and Ozzy Diaz. And I won't lie, I'm thinking that Zhang Mingyang is going to KO Anthony Smith. I hate to say that because I really do like Anthony Smith, but I've picked Anthony Smith so many times before and he's never fucking won. And then when I finally don't pick him, this guy'll fucking submit him. Anyways, this is Anthony Smith's retirement fight. He's finally done after this. Hanging up the gloves. I believe his coach passed away. And I gotta say, I'm picking Jungmin Young to KO Anthony Smith in the second round. I really don't want to say that. And I could see a fucking fluke submission from Anthony Smith, but I can't confidently pick this guy anymore. I gotta say Anthony Smith submits Jungmin Young. Doesn't submit Jungmin Young. See, my brain's already saying it. Jungmin Young KOs Anthony Smith in round 2. And in the main event, we have Ian Cuck Gary versus Carlos Prates. So, Ian Gary, one of the biggest undefeated guys in the UFC at the time. And now, he has a loss against Shavkat Rakhmonov. Got out decisioned. Almost finished him in the 5th round. But managed. Shavkat managed to come back. And Ian Gary lost the decision. Close decision. 48-47. And Carlos Prates, the surging contender, having a win over Neil Magny in his last fight. And people are hot on the fighting nerds here. And also, stupid fucking tattoo for having Muay Thai across your chest. That sounds like some shit I'd get. Anyways, Carlos Prates, don't get me wrong. He's got skill. But mainly, his skill is coming from his power so far. He's got KO wins over everyone. I swear the Neil Magny win was by fucking ghost punch. I don't even know what fucking landed. But he's just been KOing everyone, and we haven't seen Ian Gary get KO'd before. And he's definitely got the worst, so far, opponents out of the fighting nerds. Don't get me wrong, there's an argument to be made that Mauricio Rufy has had the worst opponents, but I'd argue a Bobby Green win is better than a Neil Magny win. Or Li Jingliang win. And Jamie Malarkey isn't bad either. Just James Law on top isn't great. But Trevin Giles and Charles Radke are not that great. So, who am I picking here? Because we have the surging contender, and we have the guy that's looking to get back in there after a loss. And I am going to pick Ian Gary to win a decision. I think the fighting nerds' luck is up. I think they're finally going to get their first UFC loss out of the main 4. We have Bruno Brasil, technically Mayra Bueno Silva and Mikhail Jacek. But I have to say, I think their luck out of the main 4 is up, and I think Carlos Prates is going to get outclassed and out-decisioned by Ian Gary. Yeah. So those are my picks. We have a little bit of Q&A today. Not much from... Okay, yeah. Holy shit. I can't say his name, but Ange is alive. Wow, I haven't seen this guy in forever. Believe me, you don't have to be on Verdict all the time, because I'm not even that active anymore. The forum's been fucking crazy. I don't know what the fuck's happened. Anyways. How'd the date go, mate? Got him done or not? Yeah, I think it went pretty well. She's coming over tonight. Yeah. Seeing as Volk beat Lopez, and Lopez arguably beats the rest of the division, does that mean Volk smokes everyone? Yeah. Like, really, that was the toughest test for him, and he got through it perfectly fine. Now, granted, I don't know how Ilia Topuria went down to number 3 after just vacating the title. And how Yair went up to 4 after fucking 1 win over Patricio Pitbull, who's unranked. Meanwhile, Brian Ortega's down there at the 7, who has a win over Yair Rodriguez not that long ago. If it was a while ago, I would have said yes, but not that long ago. Anyways. I believe Movsar's up next for Volk. I think Movsar's up next for Volk, and I really don't see an issue there for Volk. Because Movsar has no fucking KO power. He has no KO power. And Volk, there's no risk of him losing when there's no risk of him getting KO'd. Look at the Ilya fight. He won the first round completely. There was no argument. Volk won the first round 100%. The fight probably would have kept going that way, but Ilya did manage to KO him. But obviously, Ilya could fucking KO anyone. Should Volk be higher pound for pound? So looking at the pound for pound list right now, this pound for pound list is fucking proper shit. Okay, I hate this pound for pound list. But Volk is in at the 9. He's the second lowest ranked. I can't believe Pantoja's that low. I forgot about that. Second lowest ranked champion. And I think I would put Volk at right around the 6 right now. I would put him above Ankalaev. So I would have him right below Dreykus and right above Ankh. Don't get me wrong, all time definitely should have been like, if we're talking all time, if he didn't lose to Ilya, I would put him at 2. But he lost to Ilya. So, arguably won if he didn't lose to Ilya, by the way. But yeah, I do think he should be higher pound for pound. Have Verdict said anything about adding DMs? No. I haven't seen shit about that, which I really want them, especially since there's a shitload of whatever happening on the forums right now. I think DMs are needed. Definitely. I think that's something we need right now. After all the beef with everyone and everything. I don't know how I haven't had my name thrown into the mix yet, but that's probably just because I'm not that active anymore. And how's your life improved since Volk got the belt back? It has been fucking amazing, to say the least. Like, sometimes I'll be down, right, and I'm lying there in my bed, and then I hear Down Under play in my head. I'm just like, oh yeah, Volk won the belt back. Do you come from a land down under? Yeah. I got the Volk shorts, and I wear them in the gym now. And they are the most comfortable things I've ever fucking worn. Just the thing is, I have to wear a jock, or else you can see my dick right through them. Yeah. Anyways, let's see what else is going on in MMA news. International Fight Week is kind of in trouble. Now, Dreykus put off the injury rumors, but he did confirm that he is not on UFC 317. Sorry. Just having a drink. And now 318, I believe that is going to be the main event between Dustin Poirier and Max Holloway again. I want to say they're going to let Dustin Poirier main event his own or his retirement card because people love Dustin Poirier. I love Dustin Poirier, so like I'd want to see that. So, and I think 319 is going to be Ankh and Pereira. But also 319 could be Dreykus and Khamzat. If you think about it, if he beats Khamzat, there's going to be arguments for him to go up a division. Which, because he already said he wants to, because he beat, what's-his-face, Sean Strickland again. But I don't think he should. I think he has to beat Imavov first, or the winner of Imavov-Barayo. I think Imavov's being a pussy right now, and he just wants to fight for the title. But I do believe that without a doubt, Dreykus beats Imavov. And the hot take, I think Dreykus beats Khamzat. But yeah, and oh man, 314 was such a good card. I was happy. It was so wholesome to see Dominic Reyes on a fucking win streak in 2025. Like, what? This guy was just on one of the biggest losing streaks in the UFC, and now he's fucking on a 3-fight win streak. KO streak, by the way. Like, holy shit. Anyways, I'm getting off track. That's all our Q&A. And that's just about it for this episode. Oh, that looks like Rafael Fiziev versus Ignacio Bahamondes is official for UFC Pacquiao, finally. That makes sense. That should be main event, but it's not. Actually, Bahamondes isn't even ranked anymore, which is stupid. But yeah, thank you everyone. I will see you all next time.